What's good with it, y'all? Uh, man, I need everybody out there to be safe. Okay, I need everybody to be safe. Um, damn, am my shit fucking up again? Is it fucking up? Something is going wrong with my YouTube. Okay, wait a minute. We got people up in here. My bad. Um, no, I was the last time I went live. I touched on the Traverse City stabbing at the Walmart, right? Today, my brother, what up, woke me up with a text message. He said some shit is going down in Las Vegas. I said, what? He said there's some shit going down. An active shooter, a mass shooting in Las Vegas. Then my other nephew, well, what up ain't my nephew, that's my brother. Nephew hit me up. We got a situation going down in New York, which, by the way, have one of the most strictest gun laws. The anti-gun, that's one of the most anti-Second Amendment states or city that you can be in. But yet, we had a savage. We had a savage with an AR-15. See, what they don't understand is that I don't care how strict you make the laws, these anti-gun laws, a crazy motherfucker, a savage, some way, somehow, some shape, some form, they gonna get their hands on one. And I cannot make a better example out of the bullshit that went down in New York City yesterday. Where I'm hearing now up to 6 people were unalive. 6. Multiple people unalive in Vegas. You got to remember, man, we just had the stabbing spree at the Walmart. Now, in one day, we had a mass shooting incident on the West Coast and the East Coast. It only makes you wonder what's coming next. What's coming today? That's how things. That's how bad uh, things have gotten to where uh, you don't know this country, this whole entire fucking world is just spiraling out of control. If you are not armed in this day and age, you's a fucking idiot. Here we go. Same old movie. The same movie. Somebody mad at the world. Somebody they want to take their anger out, their aggressiveness out on innocent people. And nobody is there really to fight back. Nobody, everybody, hey, I just want to be a victim. I want to, when you got to realize if you're not armed and most importantly, armed up here, you're going to be a fucking future victim. When are you going to get it and understand that the police is not going to be there, Johnny on the spot, to come to rescue you, to come to your aid, to be your defender? No, we got people that's unalive right now because they wasn't being savage ready. It just makes you wonder what's coming next. When will the next attack come? Will I be there when the shit go down and pop off? I know I'm going to be armed. But it's just so many people that's out here right now that just don't They don't get it. So basically, in the span of what, 3 days, in 48 hours, we don't had like 3 mass casualty events. And I say that this shit is only gonna get worse. You know, it's unfortunate, but this type of events like this, they're never gonna end. They're never gonna end until people realize, you know, a armed society is a polite society. You know, a lot of people that they answer is, well, we need to make the gun laws more. It's not going to stop. Criminals, once again, criminals do not obey laws. They break them. They're criminals, right? You only putting us at a disadvantage of, you know, being able to protect ourselves, our own guns. You know, uh, think about this: the Travis City, Michigan, Walmart stabbing, right? Imagine if it wasn't that hero there, the armed, you know, law-abiding citizen. He pretty much upperhanded the stabber because he had the gun, and and the savage respected him because he had the gun. Okay, he had the gun, but you got politicians, um, for their own agenda. Uh, they want to make guns out to be, you know, bad, evil. Don't associate yourself with them. You know, the world is on fucking fire right now. The country is on fucking fire right now. You got to remember and realize this shit, that all this shit is part of a plan. It's all about propaganda. It's propaganda. Uh, you know, it's an agenda, and a lot of people is just, you know, brainwashed. They doing the shit again. Now I want to touch on something that's gonna ruffle some feathers. You know, and I get it. If you don't like what I'm about to say, go ahead and unsubscribe. I'm not on that tip. I'm not. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care if I had only 20 subscribers. I don't give a fuck. I started off with only one. I want to touch on the incident in Cincinnati that happened earlier today, or was it yesterday? I keep hearing about it. I keep hearing people talk about it, and everybody want to know my opinion. Now, media is spinning this shit as some type of racial incident, where basically the Texas that I've been getting is some white people, a white couple in Cincinnati got they fucking asses whooped, fucking beat the fuck down by some blacks. So now I'm hearing that this is not the first time something like this has happened. Okay. Now, here's the fucked up part. You want to know what my opinion is? No, I'm going to reserve that right now. I'm going to reserve my opinion on that. I'll say this. I have this strange feeling that if the roles were reversed, and if it was whites beating some blacks ass like that, and it was racial, this shit would be all over the fucking news. And you know that. You know this. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier. All this shit is by design. All this shit is a distraction. It's a distraction. They if it would have been reversed, this shit would have been all over the news because it fits their propaganda and their agenda. All right? They want to divide us. They want to tear us apart and they use race. Race happens, it works every fucking single time. Now, if that was some, I don't know the details of the situation. I was just told and what I'm hearing, but I haven't actually. I'm this is I haven't actually had the time yet to really dig down and into what really happened. Because a lot of people comparing it to the incident that happened a few years back. The boat incident when the white folks got their ass whipped on that boat. I actually agree that they should have got their fucking asses whipped on that boat because they started that shit. I don't even think it was just racial. I don't even think it was racial. They just happened to be some right assholes. All right. And they didn't want to be told what the fuck to do when they said, move y'all fucking boat out the way. And they refused to do it. They didn't listen to the guy. And then when the guy was like, look, man, this is my job. Y'all got to move that motherfucking boat. They jumped that guy. About 4 5 of them white ones jumped the black brother. And everybody else jumped in. I ain't got to, give details. So in that incident, they deserve to get their ass whooped. If I would have been there, I would have jumped in too and whooped their ass too. Because they started that shit. They kicked that shit off. Now in Cincinnati, I don't know what was the precursor to this event and how it started. But if it was on some racist shit, where it was blacks being racist towards whites, that's fucked up. And I don't condone that no more than I condone a white motherfucker being racist against a black. It's wrong. I'm not gonna take no sides and be like, oh well, right? They got what they got coming because white folks been fucking with us and hanging us, and they got a history of all that shit. And no, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that. It's time for you to free yourself from the past and just move the fuck on and let that shit go because it ain't gonna get you nowhere. You got to let go. I'm not saying forget, but you got to let go and just, you got to look at people for being people, human beings, and not race, because you got to remember that shit was all a part of a plan to disrupt our spirits, our righteous, our true, purity of righteousness, and it corrupted it by making everything, selfishness is a drug, and we all addicted to it. We're all addicted to it. But if you really want to go back, to the root of everything, man, we are brothers and sisters at the end of the day. And if it was on some racist shit, now if they was being racist towards the black and called them a nigger or something like that, then what the fuck you expect to happen? So I'm not gonna give my opinion on something that I'm not condoning no type of violence whatsoever. But when it comes down to race, it's so motherfucking primal. I don't even think the cavemen did idiotic, stupid, dumb, childish. Nah, I don't even want to say child, because even children got the wherewithal not to be a fucking idiot like that. Where you hating somebody because of the color of their skin or what they skin represent. I I get it. The way America's set up, though, when you mention the word racism, the first thing you're gonna think of is a white motherfucker, right? You're not gonna think of a black motherfucker. You're gonna think of a white motherfucker. And let's just be honest about it. You know, when you think of racism, you're gonna think of a white motherfucker, and it's like with a white dude, a white dude, he's already is projected and depicted as um profiled as a racist motherfucker, a bigot, which is the same thing. Uh, uh, Anything that's associated negative with racism is usually a white motherfucker. That's just the way that the media, just like you see us on the news, majority of the time we don't shot a motherfucker up in handcuffs. It's on the news, so people will have when they constantly see shit like that, they can't help but to think when they see a motherfucker like a black motherfucker in real life, they gonna think that shit because they seeing it on TV. Same thing with white people. It's projected. They are the symbols of racism. Every time anything. Shit, I lost my train of thought. We got to get past that shit, whether who started it or not. If it was on some racist shit, that shit is dead fucking wrong. And if it was on that racist shit, to my white victims out there, they got their ass whooped. You have to fucking be savage ready. Just because you right, don't mean you don't need to be savage ready. When I'm saying savage ready, I'm talking to everybody. I don't give a fuck what race you are, what color you are. And this is why I say all this shit, like the Cincinnati beating and all that shit. It's a distraction. People when they feelings about this shit. And they should be. Anytime if it's on some racial shit or any kind, even if it's not, it's still sad and unfortunate. But the bottom line is you got to be savage ready. You can't focus on the color when what you looking for, a criminal. You got to realize that exists in every color. A lot of shit be going down in other neighborhoods and demographics, but it's not being reported on the news. Only the shit that we do for the majority of the time is reported on the news. And this is why I say it's all propaganda. It's all a hidden agenda. And the minute that you realize that the trick that's being, it's like an illusion that they doing to us, and some of us don't know any better. And we just believe it because we see it. But I'm telling you, it's some diabolical shit with this government and with the left and with the fucking right. We got to free ourselves from both of them motherfuckers, because at the end of the day, neither one of them is representing our best interests. They want to still focus on splitting us up and tearing us apart. And anybody and everybody can be racist. Hell, everybody knows racism amongst our own race. Is light skinned blacks think they better than dark skinned. Then you got dark skinned blacks that don't like light skinned black. That shit been happening forever. Anybody can be, racist, but all I'm saying is stop focusing so much on somebody's, the color of their skin. So if we say, two humans, a group of humans got to fighting in Cincinnati with somebody with how many people would be, offended by that or in their feelings about that, or so upset and mad and saying it's racist and all that if they said humans got to fighting in Cincinnati today. You see what I'm saying? How certain words and keywords and all that shit are put in something to get a reaction out of you, to get you, to get you in your feelings, to emotionally attack you. So don't get caught up in that shit about race. Okay, two groups of humans, but it's the system. If that shit would have been if it would have been reversed and some blacks got their fucking asses kicked, this shit it'll blow up. It'll be all over the major, news channels, and then eventually it would be protests and riots, so it's just fucked up how this system is all set up and designed. But once when you elevate and you advance your spirit, you can see through all of the little tricks and the little traps that the devil wants you to follow and fall in. We got to stop falling for that shit. It's all it at the end of the day, we all humans, that got to be savage ready. Say, for example, I'm black. I love everybody, right? Okay. But at the same time, I realize that we living in a wicked world. We living with amongst savages and demons. The devil is busy. So I happen to be at a Walmart. I happen to be at Meyer. I like to shop at Meyer, right? So what if a white racism came in and was like, you know what, I'm gonna kill every nigga I see up in here. Then it's my responsibility as a man to have that funky town center on me and be as tactical as I can, not letting him know of my, presence, and try my best to get the drop on his ass, to drop him. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about him being racist, even though it is evil to be racist. It's ignorant. It's at the end of the day, no matter what situation I may find myself facing, whether it's a racist group or whether it was Nuki and Tyrone and Natty Nut around the corner, I have to be prepared no matter what. So we can't be paying attention to this and that at the end of the day because it really don't matter. All that matters is that you protect yourself and protect your family, protect your loved ones. And you have that gun. Don't get caught up in the distractions. I'm telling y'all right now, something bigger than what's done happened in the last 48 hours is coming this way. You ain't seen nothing yet. Appreciate you, brother Jam, for that super chat. We can't get caught up in all that race baiting and pointing the finger and all that shit. We can't. What we got to do is continue to utilize our common sense and don't fall for the okey doke. And if that shit was on some racial shit and they just beating up white people just to beat them up, man, that's fucked up. And they get a thumbs down from me. Matter of fact, you need a thumb stuck up your dumb ass. Because if I see somebody getting attacked, whether they black or white, and I know that it's on some racial shit, and I know that the right person wasn't drunk and called them the nigger, or called them a nigger or something like that, because if you do some dumb shit like that, what you expect gonna happen? And I'm still not condoning or justifying any violence in no way, shape, form, okay? But what I'm saying is, if I see some shit, somebody say it's a white guy, and they beating up on him because he's white, and they just Whose side you think I'm gonna take? Because I'm not on nobody's side. I'm on the side of righteousness. I'm on the side of what's right. Man, I can't even tell y'all how many emails I get from people, you know, telling me that I'm a sellout and telling me that I just, want to kiss all my right subscribers' asses, which makes no sense. And why I'm always talking about, and this, I've been getting emails like this over the years. Why I always be, I keep Shannon Christian and Chris Newsom in my mouth, and he was like, "Those are white people. Why you care so much?" And what about all of the fucked up shit white people did to us during slavery, and how many blacks that was killed by white people and shit, and I I I I I get it, I do. It's important to know your history and stuff, but it's also important to let to not forget, but to let shit go and forgive a person, especially a motherfucker that ain't had shit to do with it. They didn't have no control over what their ancestors did, and a lot of them, believe it or not, what you don't see is a lot of white motherfuckers, even back then, was against that shit and protecting the slaves and shit. So can't nobody tell me that a person, because of color of their skin, they can't have a righteous heart, a righteous soul. That's bullshit. So if I would have been there, I would have been beating their asses, because it's just straight up wrong. Because you know why I would do it? Because if my son, if he get encountered by some neo Nazis or something, and they trying to jump him, just because you know a right guy or something, you can't intervene and on the behalf of my son. So yeah, I would definitely do that, because I would want somebody to do that for me. If I can protect somebody's life, and I know that I'm not really putting my life in too much danger because I want to live too, um I'm going to help you. I'm going to be there to protect you, and maybe even die for you, because at the end of the day we all got to go, and we all need to be righteous and stop giving a fuck and stop falling for the tricks that this, you know, entity, the left or the right, none of them is meant to be trusted, because all they care about is power and money. And anybody that's all they care about, don't give a fuck about nothing else, then they ain't got no heart. They not righteous, you know? So here in the Gun Freak Nation, it's all about being righteous, man. We all, when we in this motherfucker right here, we human. We human, all right? And the way shit is because it's because the way the government wanted to be this way, because they benefit off of people hating each other. They benefit off of division. They politics, religion, race, all that shit was purely by design to divide us and have us fighting against each other. When you don't reach the pinnacle of your righteousness and you advance in life spiritually, you too intelligent to even think like that, man. So don't fall for it. You know, look at people for what they are, people. Don't fall for the government's, all them old ass tricks. Don't fall for it. We got to treat each other as human beings. Human beings. It shouldn't even be nothing when you fill out a fucking application or some type of paperwork or something and it's got race, put your race down on are you this, are you not that? What the fuck difference does it matter? You're human. You see how society is? We gotta love one another. And in the meantime, we gotta protect one another. And most importantly, protect your life, your family. No matter what type of evil it that's facing you, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? Whether that motherfucker is racist, whether that motherfucker is a crackhead or crazy motherfucker that just want to jab some people today, or it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, right? If you can protect yourself, because no matter what, if you're not savage ready and you don't have that gun on you, you can have that racist, that right racist, you can have, nutty nut around the corner, you can have a serial killer, a rapist. If they gonna unalive you, what difference does it make? If you're not savage ready, what difference does it make? But see, the media, if you get unalived by the right racist, the media gonna blow that motherfucker up. They're gonna blow that story up because it fits their agenda. You get what I'm saying? No, if it's nutty nut around the corner, that nigga nutty nut, that shit ain't gonna even make the news, my nigga. It ain't gonna, if it's that crazy ass nigga nutty nuts around the corner, that shit ain't gonna make no media, nothing. Nothing. If it's a rapist or something, it ain't gonna make the news. But if it's a white person that's racist, oh, they gonna, man, you gonna have motherfuckers flying in on, you know, Learjets and shit. Greyhounds. Busting motherfuckers in to come and protest and burn this motherfucking city down. It's almost racist against white people. It's because their skin is right. It blows them up and make them extra evil and all that shit. And and you make this shit make sense. It's almost racist against white people, right? It makes it like they're special or something. When one of them killers, oh man, it was killed by a white person, man. That's really, really, really special. We're gonna make a big deal out of that. But let me get killed by Nutty Nut around the corner. Oh man, just another nigga don't got killed by another nigga. That's all it is. That's all it is. Ain't nobody just two niggas. Another nigga don't got killed. What's new? But I guess the white person, I guess they so special because their skin is white and they happen to say the word nigga, I'm gonna kill you before they kills you. Then I don't know. Make that shit make sense, man. This is why I'm saying all this shit is by design. And the media, bitch ass channels like CNN and MSNBC and even Fox, they gonna blow that shit up. Especially CNN, they gonna blow that shit up. Because you know why? It's money in it. When some racial breakout, niggas love to tune in and watch it. They ratings, they make the that's the best fucking ratings. So they benefiting off of it, and it's all propaganda, and everybody got that hidden agenda. We got to stay clear of all that bullshit. We got to make sure that we are not at the end of the day being, distracted by all this fuck shit that's going on. You know, you're right. They're selling a narrative, man. And this shit been happening since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. But you got the ultimate control over your movie. Protect your life. Get armed, get trained, be responsible, and be savage ready. Because that gun is just an extension of you. Be comfortable with it. But I'm telling you this, it's a tool. If you ain't got it up here, you're going to fuck up. You're going to get yourself unalived, or you're going to, being savage ready is a blessing from God, because you get to feel the other person's energy. You get to feel, you can just see it. I can be around a motherfucker for like 2 minutes and I can pretty much size them up, you know, and you could just tell when somebody's energy is off, the frequency is off. You can just tell. You can feel it in your bones. That's your God giving, wisdom, your spidey senses, right? You got to always pay attention to who is in your you know, in your vicinity. You have to pay attention. You mentally set up a perimeter wherever you at, and you watch every motherfucking thing in that perimeter, or if it breach it. If it breach it, then you need to reach for it. If it breach, you got to, when you in your car or wherever you at, set up a safe zone around you, an invisible safe zone. And if somebody breach it, be ready to reach for it, because it might be a motherfucker that's coming for you, that's gonna try you. You need to understand this devil is busy. But getting back to what I was saying, why you always talking about Shannon Christian and Chris Newsom? They was, some white kids that got killed by some black kids, right? Savages. It don't make no difference whether the savages were white, the savages were black. It could have been Latino, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna talk about it, because it just shows you the depths of evil, of the things that people can do to another human being. That couple, they were tortured, especially Shannon. And their story need to be told. Maybe it will warn people to just be savage ready. You can be here today and gone tomorrow, but shit's so bad, man. You be here today and gone the same damn day. It broke my heart once again. Last night, a 6-year-old child was unalive in Detroit on the east side last night. It was a drive-by shooting. These motherfuckers because that's the 6-year-old, he was like, his house was like 4 or 5 houses down the street in the middle of the block. That bullet, which I assume was a 7.62 by 39, traveled through 4 houses, and it went into the 6-year-old's house and struck him. His house 5 houses away from the house that was the target. 6 years old. There's been so many youth that has passed away due to senseless violence this summer in Detroit. Probably over 10 by now. No, whoever that did that drive by, they gotta know that they killed that child, even though that bullet wasn't intended for that house. Some motherfucker, whoever that fucking shooter was, that nigga couldn't shoot for shit. He couldn't shoot for shit. For that bullet to stray off and go 5 houses down, and you got blood on your hand. And if I know who you are, I wish I did, I would personally hunt your ass down. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this just senseless violence, man. Everybody is so quick to grab a gun to solve their differences, they beefs or whatever, which is always on some dumb shit. And this shit is just getting worse. And I'm not talking about my hood, my city. I'm talking about all over the country right now. Even the suburbs, the good old suburbs that used to be your safe sanctuary. You under siege too. Shit's starting to happen more and more out there. But a lot of the shit, I'm gonna tell you, I still know people in the burbs. I used to live in the burbs with my ex. All right. I still know people that live out there in Canton, and I'm telling you, a lot of the shit that go down out there purposely is not being reported on the news, or they not telling the news about it because they want to uphold that image of safety. They don't want to see they shit all on the news. Oh shit, Canton, that used to be nice. All that crime and shit happened. I don't want to go there now. So it's a lot of shit going down that's not being reported. I got the Citizen app, and man, my shit blowing up every day. Violence, shooting, drive by, attempted assault. You know, um, we got an arson, we got a break in, we got a home invasion. I suggest you get the Citizen app, man. It's gonna let you know what's going on in your neighborhood, your immediate neighborhood. Um, I don't know what else to say, but pray and hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. And you just never know when your day of reckoning will come. But you need to be ready to stand on business and put that threat down when it's time to come your way. I'm telling you, man, shit is weird. Shit is crazy. Imagine going to a gas station and that be your last moment of your life and you're dying and you thinking like, how in the hell, how the fuck did this shit happen to me? Well, I'm telling you, many, many, many people have lost their lives exactly like that because they wasn't being ready. They wasn't being prepared. They wasn't being savage ready. And for whatever that happened, they wasn't paying attention and it happened. And they're no longer here now. We want to live to die of natural causes, old age. We don't want to be our last. We don't want to have our last moments on this planet, knowing that we about to be murdered, knowing we about to die after being shot. So I'm begging y'all, please listen to me. No matter what, never think that you cannot be touched or that it would never happen to you or to a loved one or your family or something. Stop thinking that and start believing, yes, it can happen. And when it do happen, I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to have my fucking AR or my shotgun. I got my sidearm, my handgun, and we gonna do safety drills. For shit hit the fan scenarios. That's all it takes. When you all in the world, fucking pay attention to your environment. Don't get caught slipping on your fucking phone, or any other device you may have. The devil is clever, man. I'm gonna do a video on it. They planting cell phones as cameras, as they making cell phone surveillance devices now, planting them in people yards, burying them in their lawns, and hiding them in their bushes, so they can monitor your activity at your house. So I guess they want to know when you sleep or when you are not there. So, I'm gonna play the video in a future video coming up. These savages have gotten very tactical, very clever. They're trying to outsmart you, but you can't let that devil, outthink you and outsmart you. No matter what, you have to stay savage ready. And racism, I hate it. It's stupid, it's dumb, and it's made into such a big fucking deal. I say fuck racism. It ain't no big deal to me because I'm not letting it stop me. And if it do get in my way, I'm gonna be like, devil, get the fuck out my way. And if I do see you reaching for a gun, then it's on me. My responsibility is to send you on your, give you a first class ticket to Funky Town. And it could be Nutty Nut, Pookie and Nookie. It could be them. They can join you. It could be that that serial killer. It could be him. He can join y'all. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Do what's best for you. Protect your life and stay focused and stop falling for all these distractions. I love y'all, Gun Freak Nation. Salute. Y'all be safe. Uh, stay armed. Stay responsible with your firearms. Stay righteous. And you know, don't let the devil win. Don't let him win. Don't let him distract you. Because at the end of the day, it's about protecting your life. You're responsible for your life. You only get one. Okay? You only get one. In this movie, when you die, you ain't coming back. It ain't gonna be no take one or take two. React that scene. We don't get the chance to react a scene. So stay ready at all times. You feel me? I love y'all, Gun Freak Nation. Salute.